Lamentations 1.
How doth the city sit solitary, that was full of people? How is she became as a widow, she that was great among the nations, and princess among the provinces? How is she become
tributary.
His weepeth in the night, and her tears are on her cheeks among all her lovers. Tears are on, she hath none to comfort her, all her friends have that trust. With her they are became her enemies. Judah is gone into captivities because of affliction and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the head. She
Verse.
She fideth no.
She dwelleth among the heathen. She dwelleth.
No rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the
streets.
The ways of Zion do mourn because none come to the
solemn feast.
All her gates are desolate. Her priests sigh. Her virgins are afflicted, and she is in her bitterness. Her adversaries are the sheep. Her enemies prosper. For the Lord hath afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions. Her children are gone into captivity before the enemy. And from the daughter of Zion, all her between is
beauty
is departed. Her princes are become like harts that find no pasture, and they are gone without strength before the
pursuer.
Jerusalem remembered in the days of her affliction and of her
miseries,
all her pleasant things that she had in the days of old, when her people fell into the hand of the enemy, and none did help her. The adversaries saw her and did mock at her substance.
Verse 8. Verse 8. Lamentation 1, verse 8.
Jerusalem that
hath grievously sinned.
Therefore she is removed.
All that honored. She is removed. All
that honored her. Despise her, because they have seen her
nakedness.
Ye she
saith
and turneth backward. Her
filthiness
is in her
skirts.
She remembereth not her last, and therefore she came down wonderfully. She had no comforter. O Lord, behold my affliction, for the enemy hath magnify himself, and our adversary had buried at his hand upon all her pleasant things, for she had seen that the heathen
entered
into her
sanctuary.
Who thou didst command that
They should
not enter into thy
congregation.
Congregation, all her people
Sigh. They seek bread.
They have given their
Pleasant
things for
meat
to
relieve.
relieve the soul. See,
O Lord,
O Lord, and consider, for I am become
vile.
vilely vile.
Is it nothing to you? Is it nothing to you?
It
Is it
is it nothing to you,
all ye
all
that
ye that
pass by?
pass by? Behold and see if there be any
Sorrow
like unto my sorrow, which is done unto me. Therewith the Lord hath afflicted me in the day of his
fierce
Fierce
anger.
anger. From above hath he sent fire into my
Bones
bones, and it prevailed against them. He hath spread a net for my feet. He hath turned me back. He hath made me
desolate
and
faint
all the day. The
yoke
of
my transgressions
is
bound.
by his hand.
They are wreath
And
come up
lift and come up
upon my neck.
upon my neck. He hath made my
Strength to fall.
The Lord hath delivered me into their hands, from whom I am not
Able
to rise up. The Lord hath
throw them
throw them underfoot. All my
mighty men in the midst
of me. He hath
called
assembly against me to
crush
my young
men.
men.
The Lord
Hath
trodden the virgin,
the
daughter
of Judah, as in a
winepress.
press. For thus
These things
I weep, mine eye
runneth
down with water, because the comforter that should relieve my soul is far from me. My children
are desolate,
because the enemy
prevailed.
Zion
Spread it forth.
Her hands, mine eyes.
And there is none to comfort her.
And there is none to comfort her. The Lord hath commanded concerning Jacob, that his
adversary
should be round about him,
Ay,
Jerusalem.
may si ate na. 17, verse 17.
Basa ko na yung 17. 18 na miss. Dito naman. 17 verse 2.
21. Buti.
Zion spreadeth forth her hands, and there is none to comfort her. The Lord hath commanded concerning Jacob that his adversaries should be round about him. Jerusalem is as menstruous
Menstruous.
women woman among them. The Lord is righteous, for I have rebelled against his commandment. Hear, I pray you, all people, and behold my sorrow. My virgins and my young men are gone into captivity. I called for my lovers, but they deceived me. My priests and my elders gave up the ghost in the city, while they sought their meat to relieve their souls. Behold, O Lord, for I am in distress. My bowels are troubled. Mine heart is turned within me, for I have grievously rebelled abroad. The sword bereaveth
Bereave.
huh?
Bereaveth.
At home. There is as death. They have heard that
I sigh.
There is none to comfort me. All mine enemies have heard of my trouble. They are glad that thou hast done it. Thou wilt bring the day that thou hast called, and they shall be like unto me.
And seed. Hindi maririnig. Punta ka muna doon. Go. Lamentations 1, verse 22. Thou hast called us in a solemn day. My terrors round about, so that in the day of the Lord's anger none escaped. Nakasama ko yan. Nor remained those that I have swaddled and brought up hath mine enemy consumed. Ate, Lamentations 2. Lamentations 2.
How hath the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, and cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel, and remember not his footstool in the day of his anger. The Lord hath swallowed up all the habitations of Jacob, and hath not pitied. He hath thrown down in his wrath the strongholds of the daughter of Judah. He hath brought them down to the ground. He hath polluted the kingdom and the princes thereof. He hath cut off in his fierce anger all the herd of Israel. He hath drawn back his right hand from before the enemy, and he burnt against Jacob like a flaming fire, which devoureth round about. He hath bent his bow like an enemy. He stood with his right hand as an adversary, and slew all that were pleasant to the eye in the tabernacle of the daughter of Zion. He poured out his fury like fire. The Lord was an enemy. He had swallowed up Israel. He had swallowed up all her palaces. He had destroyed his strongholds, and had increased in the daughter of Judah mourning and lamentation. And he had violently taken away his tabernacle, as if it were of a garden. He had destroyed his places of the assembly. The Lord had caused the solemn feasts and Sabbaths to be forgotten in Zion, and that despised in the indignation of his anger the king and the priest. The Lord had cast off his altar. He had abhorred his sanctuary. He had given up in the hand of the enemy the walls of her palaces. They have made a noise in the house of the Lord, as in the day of a solemn feast. The Lord had purposed to destroy the wall of the daughter of Zion. He had stretched out a line. He had not withdrawn his hand from destroying. Therefore he made the rampart and the wall to lament. They languish together. Her gates are sunk into the ground. He hath destroyed and broken her brush. Her king and her princes are among the Gentiles. The law is no more. Her prophets also find no vision from the Lord. The elders of the daughter of Zion sit upon the ground and keep silence. They have cast up dust upon their heads. They have girded themselves with sackcloth. The virgins of Jerusalem hung down their heads to the ground. Mine eyes do fail with tears. My bowels are troubled. My liver is poured upon the earth for the destruction of the daughter of my people, because the children and the sucklings swoon in the streets of the city. They say to their mothers, where is corn and wine? When they swooned as the wounded in the streets of the city, when their soul was poured out into their mother's bosom. What thing shall I take to witness for thee? What thing shall I liken to thee, O daughter of Jerusalem? What shall I equal to thee, that I may comfort thee, O virgin daughter of Zion? For thy breach is great like the sea. Who can heal thee? Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thine iniquity, to turn away thy captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens and causes of banishment. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. The Lord hath done that which he had devised. He hath fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the days of old. He hath thrown down, and hath not pitied. And he that caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He hath set up the horn of thine adversaries. Their heart cried unto the Lord, O wall of the daughter of Zion. Let tears run down like a river day and night. Give thyself no rest. Let not the apple of thine eyes cease. Arise, cry out in the night. In the beginning of the watches, pour out thine heart like water before the face of the Lord. Lift up thine hands toward him for the life of thy young children, that faint for hunger in the top of every street. Behold, O Lord, and consider whom thou hast done this. Shall the women eat their food, and children span long? Shall the priest and the prophet be slain in the sanctuary of the Lord? The young and the old die on the ground in the streets. My virgins and my young men are fallen by the sword. Thou hast slain them in the day of thine anger. Thou hast killed and not pitied. Thou hast called us in a solemn day. My terrors round about, so that in the day of the Lord's anger none escape nor remain. Those that I have swaddled and brought up hath mine enemy consumed.
Good night po.
Good night po. Bye-bye po. Bye-bye. Yes, sir.